Welcome back to Snippets with Stacy. This week's story is about a guy named Daniel. Daniel and the Lion's Den. And what do you think the best part of Daniel and the Lion's Den story is?
The lions.
The lions. Lions make for a fun story. We're going to hear about Daniel, the lions, and King Darius, and what Daniel was up against
Wait,
living in Babylon back in the day. Yeah, Linnea.
since his name is King Darius, is he king of dares? Do people dare him to do something and then he does it?
No.
Darn it.
So, here is the story. Da 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 da.
There once was a young man named Daniel who faithfully prayed to God morning, noon, and night. Daniel found favor in the eyes of Darius, who was ruler over the kingdom of Babylon. Because of Daniel's great ability, the king made plans to put him in charge of the entire empire. The high officers that the king appointed were jealous of Daniel and began to try to find fault with the way that he was handling the government offers. Unfortunately, they could never find any fault with Daniel because he was faithful, responsible, and trustworthy in performing his duties. They'll finally decide that their only chance of accusing Daniel of any wrongdoing was because of his faith in God. The other officials went to the king and said, "Long live King Darius. We'll agree that you should make a law in 30 days. Any person who prays to anyone except you will be thrown to a den of lions." So Darius did as they asked. He wrote a law and signed it. The other officials knew of Daniel's faithful pray to God. Daniel heard about the new law, but he continued to pray 3 times a day, just had he done, giving thanks to his God. The jealous officials went to Daniel's house and there they found him praying and asking for God's help.
Keep going.
They immediately went to the king and reminded him of the law he had signed. The king was very sad because he was very fond of Daniel. He tried to find a way to spare Daniel, but the law could not be changed. So the king gave orders for Daniel to be arrested and thrown into a den of lions.
Maybe you can run the camera.
As the king put Daniel into the den, he said to him, "May your God rescue you." Then a stone was brought and placed over the entrance of the lion's den. It was very dark in the lion's den. Daniel began to pray for God to protect him. And the next morning, Cain got up and hurried to the lion's den. When he got there, he called out, "Daniel, servant of the living God, was your God whom you serve so faithful, able to rescue you from the lions?" Daniel answered, "My God sent this angel to shut the lions' mouths so they won't hurt me." The king was overjoyed and ordered that Daniel be released from the den. There was not a scratch on him because he had trusted in his God to protect him. The King Darius sent a message to the people of every race and nation. The language throughout the world, I decree that everyone throughout my kingdom should tremble with fear before the God of Daniel. For he's the living God, and he will endure forever. His kingdom will never be destroyed, and this rule will never end. He rescues and saves his people. He performs miraculous signs and wonders of the heavens and on earth. He was rescued Daniel from the power of lions.
So, Daniel had some pretty tough things to face in that story. He had to go up against some mean guys who were conspiring against him, and then he had to go into a lion's den. Do you think that Daniel was scared?
Yeah.
Yeah, would you be scared if you were in a den of lions?
Yeah.
Yes, but God protected Daniel and shut the lion's mouth. I bet you'd like to be in a den of lions if you knew they weren't going to hurt you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be pretty
I really
fun.
want to go to Africa someday and see lions.
I know.
And their cubs. I want to see a lion cub.
I know, they're pretty sweet. So, Daniel stayed faithful to God. Daniel knew that it was more important to stay faithful to God than to follow the king's new crazy rule about praying. That Daniel should pray to God, and God would give him courage to stand up against all those tough lions, and God would protect him. So, let us pray. Repeat after me. Dear God,
Dear God,
thank you for giving us courage.
thank you for giving us courage.
Thank you for protecting us
Thank you for protecting us
in the face of danger,
in the face of danger.
and always help us
And always help us
to stay faithful.
to stay faithful.
And all God's children said, Amen. Find your story of Daniel and the lion's den in your storybook Bible or in your regular Bible and read through it. And remember that God always loves you, and you too can be courageous and stay faithful to God. Have a great week.
Bye.
Bye.
You can cut out that last wave.